Hey guys, let's get more news from Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Draymond Green reveals what role Mark Jackson played in building the Warriors dynasty. Draymond Green gave former Warriors coach Mark Jackson credit for instilling the core trio of him, Stephen Curry, and Klay Thompson with confidence when they were younger, which allowed them to form the core of the championship dynasty they became with Steve Kerr as coach. Where I do give Mark Jackson credit is the confidence he instilled in us to be okay with us being us. I can remember vividly conversations with him like, "Steph, you're the baddest dude on the planet." This was before Steph was an all-star. We're in meetings, we're in practice, we're in the locker room, and he's like, "Dude, you're the baddest dude on the planet." Klay has no conscience, and most coaches would force him to have a conscience. Mark Jackson was like, "Dude, you don't think, shoot." What Mark instilled in us allowed us to become that. Mark Jackson was fired after the 2014 playoffs where Golden State lost to the San Antonio Spurs. After Jackson had carefully nurtured the core trio, the Warriors brought in Steve Kerr to complete their development and make them championship winners, which Kerr did in his first season in charge. Jackson was primarily fired for pushing an overly religious narrative in the team's locker room, including referring to team president Rick Welts as a penis grabber because he was openly gay. Naturally, Jackson hasn't had a job in the NBA as a coach again due to his alleged homophobic behavior. The Warriors won 4 titles with the core 3 players and Steve Kerr as coach, forming the only modern dynasty in the NBA since the Shaq-Kobe Lakers. Mark Jackson got fired for more non-basketball reasons than anything he did on the court. Even though people took umbrage with Jackson's methods and beliefs, the locker room was perfectly content with him as their coach and was devastated to find out he wouldn't be a coach as the team wished to win another NBA title. Draymond Green was the source for this story as well. "We were all crushed when Mark Jackson got fired because, again, we went from 23 wins to 46 wins to 48 or 49 wins the following year. We all felt like we were building towards something. You take a team who hadn't been to the playoffs but one time in the last 20 years or something, and we went to the playoffs in back-to-back years, and then he got fired. So none of us knew what to think. What you have to remember is, it's not like it's year 10 Draymond, year 11 Klay, Thompson, year 13 Steph, Curry. It's year 2, year 3, and then year 5. None of us know what to even think. Like what's going on? This is really our first experience of the business side. We were just young and out here playing." Kevin Durant says his worst fears were realized after 2019 Finals injury. Kevin Durant has been a dominant force in the NBA for the past 16 seasons, but in 2019 when he suffered a torn Achilles during the NBA Finals, he thought it was all over. Durant suffered the devastating injury in Game 5 of the 2019 NBA Finals against Toronto while playing for Golden State. Although it happened almost 5 seasons ago, the emotions are still raw for Durant. "That's when I knew, I'm like, all right, I probably won't go back to the Bay again," Durant said on Boardroom. "There's 20,000 people in there and I heard a pop so I'm like, oh my gosh, and my whole basketball career just flashed before my eyes, everything I did, everything that I thought about, all my favorite moments, all my bad moments, it flashed. And that's why if you watch, I'm just sitting there gazing into the crowd before somebody came over to help me up. Because I'm just like, this sh*t is over with. Like I truly don't know what I'm about to be, and that's a nerve-wracking feeling when you don't know who you are." In that 2019 Finals Series Game 5, Durant was returning from a strained calf he suffered during Game 5 of the Western Conference semifinals against the Rockets. He missed 9 games from the strain. The Warriors needed a win against the Raptors, since they were down 2-0 in the series and KD had notched up 11 points in the first half. Just 2 minutes into the second quarter, KD got hurt on a dribble on the right wing as he was trying to drive past Raptors center Serge Ibaka. Unfortunately, the injury was how Durant ended his third and final season with the Warriors, before he signed with the Nets as a free agent. A recent episode of First Take saw Shannon Sharpe disagreeing with Stephen A. Smith on who's going to win a championship first among Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, or LeBron James. Sharpe feels that the Phoenix Suns superstar is more likely to clinch another NBA championship before either of the other two superstars. This discussion heated up, given the storied careers of the three legends, and Stephen A. religiously backing Steph and the Golden State Warriors. Sharpe's insight comes as the Suns display solid championship potential, the Warriors seek to rediscover their form, and the Lakers wrestle with inconsistency. I think the way Steph Curry is, the way that team, Golden State Warriors, is, I don't really think they have a very good chance of getting there. LeBron is in year 21 and health comes down. We know AD's been injured a lot. So I would say slightly, Kevin Durant in his situation is slightly better. Orlando Magic could be a potential suitor for Klay Thompson in free agency. Klay Thompson could be headed into free agency this summer after not extending his contract with the Warriors earlier this season. While Klay has had a tough season, it seems cap-space teams could take a run at him in the summer, with the Orlando Magic reportedly interested, according to Mark Stein. Orlando has been increasingly mentioned as a potential suitor for Klay Thompson in free agency. The Magic's available cap space is difficult to project this far out. That figure could rise as high as $45 million, but depends on their future plans with free agents to be Markelle Fultz and Gary Harris as well as Jonathan Isaac, whose $17.4 million salary next season is non-guaranteed. Thompson is averaging 17.3 points on 42.1% from the field and 37.3% from three in one of his worst seasons with the Warriors. The team is currently the 10th seed in the West, with many blaming Klay for this struggle because he's failed to be a reliable number 2 option behind Stephen Curry all season long. If Thompson were to go to Orlando, he would likely not be the secondary option, as Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner would continue leading the team. Thompson would be a fantastic veteran sharpshooter for a team that has struggled with spacing the floor and is extremely young. Most people assume Klay will be a lifelong Warrior. Even though he turned down a reported 2-year, $48 million extension from the franchise, it likely was a negotiating ploy from the 4-time champion. He bet on himself to earn more than that by the summer, a plan that has partially backfired. But Klay brings enough value to attract similar offer sheets from other franchises, which could force Golden State into paying him what he wants. If this isn't a negotiation ploy and there is a chance that Klay will wear a Magic uniform next season, it would be a good move for both parties. The Magic could offer Klay an inflated 2-year deal, similar to what the Rockets gave Fred VanVleet to fill their cap before their young stars start coming in line for major extensions. The Magic are the worst 3-point shooting team in the NBA this season, sitting last in overall makes. The team lacks point guard play and players that can reliably stretch the floor, which has led to their hot start to the season petering out. They'll make a play-in appearance this season, but they won't be a playoff threat until they add some veteran sharpshooters. Klay is perfect for that role. Acquiring Klay likely leads to the Magic trusting Jalen Suggs to be their point guard and form a backcourt with Klay. Wagner and Banchero will be frontcourt options for a long time, with the team also protecting Wendell Carter Jr. from trade talks over the winter. And you fan, what do you think of the Klay Thompson situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.